my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning.
Been in here and people are roaring with laughter, so.
It's a dirty show, though.
Well, it's clean dirt.
You have here the best of the best.
Yes.
So we have many celebrities here. The Holly Madison come over here, and the Usher come over here many often, and the Paris Hilton come here.
Well, I'm dating myself, but it's okay. Nobody else will. Oh.
That's so Vegas.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all, not one bill. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Welcome to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar, here in the fabulous Las Vegas Arts District in the fantastic downtown Las Vegas area. I have a very special guest here today, Ina Mohan. How do you do?
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And you are just a glowing, you're a vegan.
I'm a vegan.
And you glow.
Not sure that that automatically goes together, but thank you so.
In your case, it certainly does, Ina. You're just marvelous. You look beautiful. Your skin's fabulous. I know how old you are, but I'm not going to say it. You've really got an interesting backstory on how you actually were a pretty celebrated chef in Europe at one point, weren't you?
I wouldn't go so far to say celebrated, but I grew up in Germany. That's my home country. And I became a certified chef, learning to cook French, Swiss style, you know, the very big cuisines with all the heavy, beautiful fats and creams and cheese and all that stuff.
And meat.
And lots of meat, lots of meat. And, you know, I loved to be in the kitchen, but then I actually took more and became also a hotel and restaurant expert after that. I didn't do a whole lot of commercial cooking, but I do love food. And I can do nice things with food, I think.
Yeah, so how did you go from cooking with the heavy creams and eggs and butter, and I'm sure mayonnaise was thrown about in there someplace.
Yeah. Everything was there.
How did you start your path? You didn't immediately go from that to being vegan, which, please define for the viewer, what is vegan?
Okay, first of all, I want to say, you know, it's a very personal journey. So people usually have a driver, a purpose to make a drastic lifestyle change. And for some people, it could be trauma and desperation. And for other people, it could be inspiration. I will share, however, for me, it was more desperation. So I grew up never having really weight problems or health problems. I was a chef, but I never made the connection between food and health either. So I never really knew what I stuffed in people's faces. It looked good, it tasted good, it smelled good. I didn't know if it was going to cause them a heart attack or not.
Ooh.
And we just don't learn that in the kitchen. And ask any chef, you know, it's about the look and the feel. But fast forward just a little bit, when I came to the US, I met my then later-to-be husband, who's from India, and he was vegetarian at the time. And, you know, I was in the US, he came from, I think he lived in Singapore, and we met in Italy. Just to be together for a little bit, to have a vacation, because you have to cross, you know, cross the earth to be finding the middle path. And we did a holiday together, and he was vegetarian already, and I was not. So he had all these beautiful, colorful things in front of them. Everything was so delightful, colorful, and I got brown and yellow and more brown, and looking at his food, I'm going, I want more of what he has.
It appealed to your eye.
It appealed to my eye and to all my senses, and it tasted good as well. I mean, Italians can't really go that wrong. And then we started living together, and I would just cook what, you know, the smallest common denominator was vegetarian. But turning more into that was because when I came to Vegas, my mom and dad back home were diagnosed with cancer.
Back in Europe?
Back in Germany.
In Germany.
And I had just started working with the WIN project, so very far away. I'm the only child. And back home in Germany, mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And then my dad was diagnosed with colon cancer very short after.
Oh, my goodness.
They kind of took turns in the hospital. It was very devastating, Christine, for me to travel so far, like every
course.
couple months, just to see them literally waste away from that disease.
Plus that time, so much can happen in such a little bit of
Very
time.
much.
It must have been
and you
very
get so worried,
devastating.
you know, and
Sorry.
you have the distance, and there's no one else there to care because I'm the only child. So I was just shell-shocked when my mom passed away from her cancer. My dad survived a little bit longer, but he also recently passed from it too.
sorry.
But that was for me like the trigger to say, whoa, first of all, I don't want to go down that road. You know, what can I do for prevention? So I became vegetarian, which my husband loved. But then I was the first one to go completely plant-based or vegan because dairy is pretty bad when it comes to cancer.
I wasn't familiar with that. I mean,
Neither was I.
I'm
You know?
a quarter
Yeah.
Swiss as well, and my family actually were cheesemakers.
Yes, I know.
So they built a kind of a little empire on making cheese. So,
Yeah.
But you're finding, is that because of the chemicals and the antibiotics of today,
It's some
or
of it.
has it
Yeah.
historically been bad?
Interestingly, you know, we're putting a lot of stuff into the animals' bodies that they're consuming that
Right.
shouldn't be for human consumption,
Steroids.
neither for them. But it's really more, there is a protein in dairy called casein.
Right.
And that's what makes the cheese curdle.
Right.
And that is, when you start raising that in the human body, you can switch on tumor growth. So casein is directly related to tumor growth. You know who found that out? T. Colin Campbell, who wrote the book, The China Study, and he was a dairy farmer himself.
Oh, my.
So his whole family had a dairy farm, and for probably decades, if not centuries, he couldn't believe these findings. It was more a coincidental
Was
side
cancer
finding.
rampant in his family? Is that what got him on? I mean,
He was looking for other cancers at the time. He was looking in China specifically for some brain cancers and neurotoxins found in peanuts.
oh my
But when
goodness.
looking at the diet for people that people were consuming,
Uh-huh.
they drilled it more and more into animal protein consumption, being the largest culprit for anything that is, I want to say, a societal disease right now.
Oh, it's
or
very
for the
much
last
so. It's
couple
a,
of
it's a
decades.
pandemic.
It's a
darn near.
pandemic. And the good news is we don't have to have it.
Oh, that is good news. For example, the Japanese have a low heart disease and cancer rate. Isn't that because they eat a lot of, I know that they need the sustainable food of the ocean, and so they eat a lot of fish. But even that's become under debate because
Right.
of
Yeah.
tsunamis and nuclear meltdowns, and the fish are,
Yes.
you don't, and again, back for viewers who aren't familiar with the term vegan as opposed
Yeah,
to
let me
vegetarian.
define it, yeah.
You don't even eat fish, is that
I
correct?
don't. And it was hard for me to give up fish. I loved sushi.
Is your husband vegan as well now?
He is now, yes.
So, okay,
just
so-
1 year shorter than I am, but we did that shift together.
How long have you been eating
About
vegan?
10 years.
Oh, 10
Yeah.
years. That's really a commitment. And we're going to talk in the second segment. We still have about a minute in this segment. I want a little bit more on your journey.
Okay.
And with your husband. And again, you know, I'm so sorry about your parents, but that did, at least you've got something out of that. You're making something good come out of
Yes.
that. So did you make the correlation? Was their diet heavy in fat and meat, your parents living in Germany, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Lots of cheese, lots of sausage in Germany.
Right, the sausage. Oh,
Yes.
that's so good, I forgot about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what the country is famous for.
Right.
But I made a commitment.
Bratwurst and
Right, for example. So I made a commitment that I wanted to just, first of all, I was starting to research nutrition. Being devastated with the loss, I thought, there's got to be something else we can do for prevention and not having to rely on conventional medicine. That literally usually just alleviates symptoms
Right.
and toxifies your body
Yes, very
in the
much
course
so.
of it.
Yeah.
So there's something you can do to not even go down the road that you're going to have to
That's
need it.
interesting,
Yes.
and we are going to talk about that
Yes,
in our
exactly.
next segment. I'm going to give a quick shout out to my sponsor. They keep me on the air.
Okay,
It's
sure.
the Red Roof Inn on Paradise across from the Hard Rock Hotel. They're pet friendly, which we all love. I don't know if they're vegan, but they do like pets, and there are free continental breakfast and Wi-Fi for guests. They're close to the airport and the Strip. Please don't go away. We'll be right back with Ina Mohan, and we're going to talk more about eating well, living right, being healthy and happy. We'll see you in just a minute.
Thank you.
Well, hey there. Welcome to That's So Vegas. This is our new studio in the famous Las Vegas Arts District, downtown Las Vegas. We're here to rock your world.
And I was
going to ask you how it felt to be breaking good here at the Bellagio for the National Center.
What you did.
Your last CD was My Secret Life. I wanted to ask you what your secrets were. A high five to CR Realty Services, who opened the door for That's So Vegas here in the famous Las Vegas Arts District. Tune in and turn on with us in downtown Las Vegas. This is where the action is, and That's So Vegas. Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm Christina Kelly, your host. I'm here with what would we call you, a nutritionist? We know you're a vegan. Ina Mohan.
Well, self-taught nutritionist.
Self-taught nutritionist.
Yes, yes.
There's a great story how you came from being a European chef to being vegetarian and now vegan. And we left off on that note. Unfortunately, you suffered some losses in your family from cancer, and we were discussing things like dairy that, as you mentioned, the casein in the product actually can cause tumor growth. But the good news is, and pay attention, my dear viewers, you have put together, number one, you have your own website, Belsandria, which is a beautiful name. Go to our website. That information will be at the bottom of the screen for more information on how you develop that name, and you have all kinds of great stuff on the website.
Thank you.
But what we're here to talk about is this, it's a health, happiness, and wellness workshop that you hold annually. Is that correct?
Well, it's actually a conference.
Yeah.
Health, healing, and happiness.
There are workshops within it,
and
yes.
there are workshops. So it's a conference and expo in Las Vegas for the 6th year already.
Oh, goodness. And it's at the Tuscany Suites in Las Vegas, which I love. It's one of my favorite places to throw
it's gorgeous.
banquets and parties. And
Very happy to be there.
right. And the dates are June 9th through the 11th.
That's right.
And tell us about that. You have presenters, you have chefs come in.
Absolutely, yes. No health conference without food, right?
Of course not. But for
Yeah.
the wannabe vegan, which could possibly be me, I've been juicing celery
Yeah.
every morning, so I'm on the path.
Good point. Well, let me start with saying, Christine, the losses were in essence a blessing in disguise, if you will, because I changed my own lifestyle. I started changing my husband's lifestyle, and I gave up. I quit my corporate job, because I became so passionate about what I found with nutrition. Once you open that lid, there's no turning back. You know, the power that nutrition has to heal your body naturally from the inside out. And so I created Health, Healing, and Happiness 6 years ago. And it was a small local event with just 150 people floating around, and now we've gotten over 800, 900 people in the last 2 years.
Oh, that is really...
And they come from all over the country, and I'm very, very pleased and feel very blessed about that.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
I know. It's a passion work.
Yes.
You know, so my mission in life, what I've noticed, is to really empower people to take charge of their own health and well-being inside out, using nutrition, using lifestyle, using options, finding the resources, the support network, the people. You know, I have doctors on my stage that are all conventionally trained for a very long time, but they're using nutrition programs and methods and prescriptions that heal you, not harm you.
Right, we mentioned that a little bit too, and we've all, and myself as well, have suffered with cancer, and family members and close friends, and it's always a tragic story. In the desert, it's kind of, when you think about eating holistically or healthfully, you know, with all the green leafy vegetables, but we've come a long way here with sustainable growers throughout the valley.
A lot in Las Vegas going on.
And wouldn't you say that maybe 10 years ago it was difficult to eat as pure as you're telling people they should eat? How can people maintain that kind of a lifestyle with the GMO companies out there, the expense of...
Yeah, you got to do a little bit of labor reading for sure. And first of all, let me say, vegan alone doesn't make the food healthy, and I want to be very, very clear about that.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of vegan friends that you can drink beer and eat cookies all day long and be vegan. But you want to really look at a whole foods plant-based diet. And I'm vegan for more than just the health. I'm also an ethical reasons, because I don't want to create harm or cause harm. But you're looking for whole foods, and you find them everywhere in this beautiful desert. We have farmers markets literally every day of the week somewhere. We have produce that is grown in farms around the city of Las Vegas.
Without pesticides.
Without pesticides. Yeah. Go for organic, but don't go crazy if budget is really a consideration. You know, there's a list called the Dirty Dozen plus 2. Those are the most heavily contaminated fruits and veggies you want to avoid.
Really?
And if you can do that, just, you know, make sure that you have those organic or from a local farmer that you know. You know, you go to the farmer's market, these people are very reliable. They don't have cross-contamination. You can eat that. It's not expensive to live like that. You're right. Vegas has come so far with creating amazing plant-based menus. We have pure vegan restaurants now all over the town.
That's true.
Yes, we have wonderful even strip locations that are adding vegan menu options because people are asking for health food choices.
So you can recreate a dish that somebody, say, who's grown up on macaroni and cheese. You had mentioned on break that there is a, what would you call it? It can't be macaroni and cheese. It's a mac and...
Well, it's a mac and vegan cheese.
Vegan cheese.
And as a matter of fact, I have
What
the
is
queen.
the vegan cheese?
Well, I have the queen of vegan cheese at my Health, Eating and Happiness conference this year. Her name is Miyoko China, and she does Miyoko's Creamery for a long time, making cheese out of cashew nuts.
Oh, that sounds
I'm picky
good.
when it comes to my cheese, and I was a cheese addict. I absolutely admit
Are we
it.
talking like cottage cheese, all kinds of cheeses can
Anything
be made
you
from
want.
nuts and cashews?
You
and-
can do a blue cheese. You can do artisanal options like shallots and truffle. She has a new cheese out that's called smoked vegan mozzarella that's not even in the stores yet, but you're going to taste it at the event.
That is
because
really...
she will be there.
Oh, that's so much fun.
You know? And
That
then there's
just
vegan
sounds like...
sausage, and there's vegan egg. It's so some of things are so real that are looking scary to me.
I've been fortunate. I have had dining experiences where it was mostly vegan, and you really couldn't tell. It was a good friend of mine, a hostess here, Cindy Dumani. You may have heard of her, but she's renowned for her caring of animals on the planets. And also another thing that I found very interesting is you are vegan by choice as well because of the cruelty to animals.
That's
Even the dairy animals, I believe, are treated cruelly. From what you know.
You know, if I had a choice, because I just didn't know better when I was vegetarian, I thought I didn't cause harm to my own body or the animals, but I learned so much. The dairy industry is actually the most harm-causing one of all, because dairy cows are, if you really want to know it, they're force impregnated to give milk. So they are having babies and babies and babies over and over and over in order to produce milk, and then the baby cows are taken away. A lot of them are right away killed if they are males because they are useless to the dairy industry.
May I ask you something? And again, we're going to have to go to break because
Absolutely.
you are just so captivating and this is such good information that's going by.
Yeah.
Would you say that maybe millennium ago that it was probably better than to eat? I mean, when people were foraging in the fields and they did have to hunt, but they used the whole animal, of course, back then. The fur, everything was used. Nothing was thrown away. Or
yes, that was very different.
Was it okay, do you think, in your opinion, to eat a different diet than without the hormones and the man-made?
It's fine with me personally. I'm not judging and I'm not preaching.
Right.
And this is also my event. It's not a vegan event. It's it's plant-based in nature. But you're gonna get food that absolutely loves you back, and you're gonna freak out how amazing it is. We're not guilting people, but you know our food supply is contaminated. It's really adulterated, if you will. We have GMOs, we have antibiotics in the food, we have growth hormones, we have plastic, we have feces, we have all things, on top of the fact that really eating a lot of animal protein is not good, particularly for women.
Okay.
So go as clean as you can.
I like what you said about the food loving you. We're going to take a quick break again. Here we go.
Good.
The Red Roof Inn. I don't know why, but I just thought of a rooster for some. The Red Roof Inn on Paradise Cross from the Hard Rock, pet friendly and close to the Strip and Airport. Don't go away. We're going to come back, talk a little bit more about some appetizing menu items here that you brought with you. And I see chocolate.
Yes, yes, we do eat chocolate too.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Don't go away.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, I mean, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on here at St. Jude, and that's beating this thing.
Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm your guilty host, Christine McKellar. I had a piece of your fantastic chocolate that you brought. I was
Yes.
And you know what? We were talking about you're pure vegan, which means no animal products. Anything that has a mother, you won't eat the byproducts. So that's one way to put it.
Yes, yes,
And this is a shorter segment, but now you've got me all excited about this health, happiness, and fitness.
Health, healing, and happiness.
Yes,
Yeah.
the conference that you have.
Yeah.
Your 6th year, and it's at Tuscany Suites this
That's
year.
right.
June 9th through 11th. You have vendors, you have speakers, you have all kinds of things going on. Tell us how the public can become involved and where they can buy tickets.
Absolutely. Well, we have the most famous nutritional scientists of the world on that stage, including Dr. Furman and a couple other doctors. All the chefs will do some cooking. That food that loves you back that we mentioned, you're going to love something like that. I have Chef Myra on my stage. She will
Looks like a pasta
demo
salad.
that. I know it is. It's completely vegan and it's so nourishing.
Right.
So the tickets and more info are available at the website health-healing-happiness.com or with the phone number. It's phone number is 702-970-7775.
Right, we've embedded that on the screen for the convenience
But
of
here's the
everybody.
interesting part. So the conference sessions require a ticket because these speakers are traveling from all over the world to be there for you and to really empower you to have options and to have new hope and to get rid of your diabetes, your cancer, you know, to not get Alzheimer's, whatever people are looking for, maybe weight loss, whatever the goal is.
Right.
That's the conference that requires a ticket. But then we have a holistic expo with vendors, almost 80 vendors right next door,
Oh,
and
my.
sponsors. You find that vegan chocolate truffle there.
Oh, that was so good.
Or a raw vegan cheesecake here from one of our Las Vegas friends, which is fantastic. And that is free to the public to come to.
Vegan cheesecake, is that kind of like a contradiction in terms?
Oh,
Is
not
that made from
really.
cashews too? We talked
It is
about
made,
that.
it is made from nuts, I believe, and it's absolutely divine. I don't even eat any other desserts anymore.
What I
And
like
it's
is the
fantastic.
message I'm getting from you is that you can really eat and enjoy foods that,
Yes.
you know, we've been brainwashed our whole lives and
Yes.
we're brought up a certain way. And
No deprivation
ethnically.
here. Yes.
We have ethnic
Yeah.
foods too. If you're
Yeah.
Italian, if you're Asian, and you know, we talked earlier, I'm Swiss. My family, their background was making cheese,
Oh,
and then to find out it's one of the most
Yeah.
highly toxic things
Yeah.
on the planet.
Yeah.
Good thing the grandparents are resting in peace. But yeah, so
Yeah.
anybody can actually find their food niche within.
And not just food, you know, anything that ails you, because the happiness part of the conference is about also making sure that you're emotionally fit, that you are staying in your good space, because a lot of disease starts in the mind.
And
So-
is that food fed?
It's partially food fed, but it's more mind over matter.
Oh, so you also have people there who at the
Yes.
conference who will help you.
Yes, with the
overcome.
emotional balancing, with the stress relief, with the you know, mindfulness of things, and we have yoga and fitness as well, because it's literally just a whole big round wheel of life, if I like how I like to put it.
Right.
You need to be healthy with the physical components, which is nutrition and fitness, but there is the spiritual, mental, and emotional components as well.
Right.
And that plays a major role in making you stay healthy or get healthy, and creating this joy and vibrance and glow, as you mentioned.
Right. Well, and I can
You know,
believe that.
comes
I
from
know
it,
because we have blood sugar issues. There are all kinds of issues. There
Yeah.
could be protein deficiencies or things of that nature. How important? Time is flying. How important is protein?
Protein is a little bit overrated because,
Okay.
you know, you want your protein to be bioavailable. And finally, plant-based protein is much easier bioavailable, which means it hits your cells, your body where it's needed, where it's assimilated faster.
Oh.
Animal protein is sitting in your long intestine for a very long time, so
Okay.
it's very hard to digest for us humans.
Okay.
So we're omnivores, but we're more really, from a physiology, more herbivores than anything else.
And it's interesting in the Hebrew culture of yore, never to mix dairy with beef. And then we find out in the modern ages that there's an enzyme that they just don't digest well together.
Yes.
So
here-
thousands of years ago, it
Right.
was a religious edict, thou shalt not mix beef and dairy.
Thousands of years ago, Buddhism would not have any animal products, for example, you know, the
Yeah.
monks. If you really want to recover fast, if you're an athlete or someone who works out, if you want to get rid of disease fast, you want to prevent disease, if you want to maintain a healthy waistline, you know, a healthy constitution and body image for the rest of your life, if you don't want to look about aging, we have a lot of anti-aging talk going on at that event as well.
Good.
Go as
I like
much
that.
clean, whole foods, plant-based as possible, because it just optimizes everything in the body.
And the skin
Yeah.
is our biggest organ. So I think
skin.
even
that's
what
also
we put on
important, what
our
we're putting
skin as
out.
far as lotions and things of that nature, deodorants.
You find phenomenal vendors at the expo, but also another workshop called edible skincare. We're going to be doing.
I kind of like that. I'm so sorry to have run out of time.
I know, me too. It's
Dina,
nice chatting
it's just
with
been
you.
a pleasure. You just glow. I mean, you are the poster child for why everyone should
Thank
be
you.
vegan.
No, I don't guilt anyone into being it. It's a
Obviously
personal
not.
choice.
It is a personal choice.
But when
and
you come to health, living, and happiness, you will find it extremely attractive to try.
I think
It'll
it's
go better for you.
fantastic. And again, it's June 9th through 11th. At one of my favorite places to have a convention is the Tuscany Suites.
Yeah,
and
gorgeous place there.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. And you're in a good headspace. I love that. Thank you for sharing all of this with
Absolutely.
us. I
Now
can't
let's
wait
eat
to
some vegan
sample
chocolate.
that.
Shall we do that?
That chocolate was
Yeah?
amazing. if we could live on chocolate alone.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Christina Keller. Until next week, that's So Vegas. I'm Christina Keller with the latest weekly Las Vegas entertainment updates. Westgate Resort Casino has opened its newest culinary experience, Bar Sake, tucked inside the village on Restaurant Row and adjacent to Riki Tiki Sushi, Silk Road Asian Bistro, and Benihana. Bar Sake opens daily at 5 p.m., featuring a selection of high-end, signature sake cocktails and a robata-style food menu. This cooking technique originates from centuries-old country-style cooking by northern Japanese fishermen around a communal hearth. Five-time Grammy Award winner CeeLo Green is returning to Las Vegas for a 4-night engagement at Caesar's Palace at Cleopatra's Barge. The close-up and personal 8 p.m. show, backed by a 2-piece band, will take the audience on a journey through CeeLo's 2-decade-plus career on July 21st through the 22nd and the 28th through the 29th. General ticket prices begin at $119. The Commodores will bring their funk and soul 70s rock hits to the Club at the Cannery on Saturday, June 10th at 8 p.m. The group's lineup features original members William King and Walter Clyde Orange, as well as 1982 edition J.D. Nicholas. Tickets start at only $29.95. The inaugural 3-day Mecum Las Vegas motorcycle June auction, featuring hundreds of antique, vintage, and collectible motorcycles on the auction block, will take place June 1 through 3 indoors at the South Point. 3 fabulous collections will be highlighted along with consignments from across the country. In addition, the first ever Legends of Racing preview party will be held Thursday, June 1 from 5 to 7 p.m. with Q&A sessions with 3 legendary racers, Don Castro, Gene Romero, and Jay Springsteen. For more of the latest Las Vegas entertainment and events, ticket info, dining tidbits, prices, locations, etc., please visit www.vegasonlyentertainment.com. I'm Christine. See you next week.
1, 2, 3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again. Yeah.